The path to true success is achieved through determination.
With the goal!
Determination to grow, to push through, and to finish.
And there's a championship, the first ever.
Utah Valley student athletes strive for these qualities.
Out of here!
UVU student athletes need your support from the community, their peers, and their families to achieve this growth and success in life.
Has an opportunity laid down, and there it is! A dive into third base.
Support from donors like you makes a significant impact on the lives of more than 370 Wolverine student athletes. The General Athletic Scholarship Fund will help our student athletes be successful in the classroom, on the field, and in life. Please support our student athletes with a personal donation and watch these men and women grow now and in the future.
Who am I? And furthermore, what do I want? What makes you itch? That's the most important investigation anyone can make. But you don't find this out until you investigate it. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Because if you say that money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Forget the money. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, you can eventually become a master of it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question. What do I desire?
Smooth sailing.
More traffic. Great looking ahead. More weather.
New details are emerging.
More breaking news. Whenever, wherever.
That's good news.
More ways to know before you go.
You're gonna like the morning commute.
On KSL Today, weekday mornings on KSL 5. Experienced? Check. Accurate? Check. The team more Utahns trust to stay safe from winter weather surprises? Check, 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 and check. Know before you go. Check with the KSL 5 weather specialists.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
UCCU is both a credit union and a full-service mortgage company.
Which means that UCCU always provides the lowest rates and lower insurance premiums than other lenders. When your mortgage rate and insurance premium are lower, your monthly payment is also lower. It's just science. That's more money you can put into your home.
Or back into your pocket.
So if you're thinking about buying or refinancing a home, talk to us.
The credit union that's been putting people over profits for over 60 years.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
From the UCCU Center inside the campus of Utah Valley University, this is WAC Basketball on the WAC Digital Network. Brandon Crow, Holden Hunsiker, thank you for letting us be a part of your Saturday afternoon. An afternoon special here on the WAC Digital Network. Utah Valley comes into this game, Holden looking for a big victory at home. Got a tough road stretch coming up They need some W's, plain and simple.
Yeah, and you've seen across the entire WAC play, it's tough to win on the road, and so it's so important for these guys to protect home court, especially against a very hungry Rio Grande Valley basketball team.
You mentioned hungry. Rio Grande Valley coming into this game after losing on Thursday up in Seattle. Final score there, 91-74. And we know that UTRGV is not the same UTRGV team that we've seen in the past here in this Western Athletic Conference. Just like a lot of other teams, these teams continue to just get better and better and better.
Yeah, this is a very skilled ball club, and you'll see their athleticism in the backcourt, which is something that we're not used to seeing out of a Rio Grande Valley ball team, and it's going to be tough for TJ Washington and Isaiah White to get themselves going, because I think Rio Grande Valley matches those guys really well athletically.
Utah Valley's starting lineups being announced right behind us. We'll go ahead and give those to you. Starting five for Coach Mark Madsen's crew: Isaiah White, Brandon Averett, Kazdan Jardine, Trey Woodbury, and Eman Olojapoki. Starting five for the Vaqueros, coming out of Texas: QJ2, Quentin Johnson II, Javon Levi, JJ Jordan Jackson. You might have seen him last week on SportsCenter. SportsCenter top 10 dunk, number 3 in the ranks. And so we know, just like you said, they're a high-flying team. Sean Ray and Leslie Varner rounding out that top 5. Willie the Wolverine banging on his drum, getting this crowd pumped up. Again, officially, hello everybody, Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us be with you here on Saturday afternoon on the WAC Digital Network. Holton, plain and simple, what are you expecting from this Wolverine team in the first 5 minutes? Because we know that that's really been a bad stretch for them so far this season.
I think they're hearing that same thing in the locker room, right? We're not the only ones that see that. I think we're going to see a very fast-paced first 5 minutes, because both ball clubs know this is a winnable game on both sides. If they look at their schedule and they look how, the win and loss column has been chalked up for each of them, they're both thinking we got to get off to a good start, and they have athletic guards on both ends that can get up and down the court. So I expect both sides, both teams to really push it in transition and try to get going early.
Game on between the Wolverines and the Vaqueros. Wolverines in their home white and green trim. Vaqueros in their road orange with the gray on the outside. An early turnover for the Wolverines leads into an early bucket on the outside from Jordan Jackson.
Jordan Jackson's not the guy that Wolverines want to allow to see him to get his first basket down. You saw his bouncing legs there in transition, and if he gets going offensively, it's a great sign for Rio Grande Valley, but tough for the Wolverines.
I think the kids these days say that they've got a lot of bunnies. And Trey Woodbury says, hey, how about my bunnies right there? I'll give you 3 of them. Trey Woodbury with an early three-pointer. Puts the Wolverines out on top. In that game on Thursday up in Seattle, UTRGV had the lead against the Red Hawks. As in another three-pointer, this one from the corner misses. Olojapoki fighting for the rebound. Wolverines get it. Trey Woodbury back up to the court. Seattle U didn't take the lead over the Vaqueros until about a minute to go in the first half, and then the Red Hawks never looked back. But for the majority of that first half, the Vaqueros had the lead. So we'll see what happens here with Coach Hill's squad. Averett, 10 on the shot clock. White with 7. 6. White with 4. Got to put it up. Kazdan Jardine, they don't see it. He's going to put up a huge three-pointer. That one rims off, and that will go out of play. And not the best offensive series for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I think what really messed up that play and what they were trying to drop was that they switched everything defensively, and they, as you can see, they have long athletic guys that can guard the ball at every position. And when you switch ball screens and you switch those different actions, it's really tough to play against, as you're scheming it that they'll react certain ways coming off of screens.
Nice assist. Air ball by the Vaqueros on the outside. That was Quentin Johnson. Now here comes Brandon Averett for the Wolverines. Averett looking for some help. Double teamed. Gives way to Woodbury. And Woodbury again, active hands by the Vaqueros out in front. And a foul by Kazan Jardine, making the Vaqueros earn everything they can up at the rack.
And that's really been what's plagued the Wolverines this season is turnovers. They've struggled to take care of the basketball, and you know, unfortunately that has been led in large part by Brandon and TJ at the point guard position, and it just becomes contagious, and you have to value each possession, and you have to take care of the basketball in order to give yourself a chance in these tight conference games.
Varner, who had a team-high 19 points along with 8 boards on Thursday up in Seattle, gets 2 back-to-back buckets at the free throw line, but Trey Woodbury in transition for the Wolverines just missed as that one rattled out. It's a good look for the Wolverines. Varner's going to have one of himself. Olojapoki with the big board for the Wolverines. Averett past the timeline. Averett steps into a 3. That one shanks off.
That shot, though it's a little early in the possession, I kind of like it because I feel like they need Brandon to be more aggressive as we get a big 3 from Levi in the corner. But I feel like they need Brandon to be aggressive on the offensive end. He usually looks to facilitate for others, but I think they need his scoring.
7-3, Vaqueros on top of the Wolverines. Jardine trying to get free. Solid defense so far by the Vaqueros. 9 on the shot clock. Averett makes a move. Averett stutter step drive to the rack. Rejected. Here comes Vaqueros. Levi, almost the same spot where he just made his last 3. Back-to-back 3-pointers. Timeout, Coach Madsen in Utah Valley. The Vaqueros exploding to a 10-3 lead. And that'll take us to our first break as well. Javon Levi back-to-back 3s. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Blake. And I'm Ben. For over 9 decades, our family has the reputation of being focused on price, selection, and service.
This decade is no different. Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on a new Santa Fe or purchase a new Tucson for just $19,990.
You've got to come and see us in Murdoch Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Tyson.
For over 9 decades, our family has the reputation of being focused on price, selection, and service.
This new decade is no different. Right now, take up to $10,000 off the new Silverado All-Star Edition.
You've got to come and see us at Murdoch Chevrolet.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Utah Valley trails UTRGV 10-3. And that right there has been the first 3.5 minutes or so of this ball game. Pesty defense, long, active hands by the Vaqueros. And you can see their demeanor on the court right now. They just look hungry, and they are ready and locked in right now.
I know it's the cliche type of statement, but they are the aggressor today. And they came out, again, they're hungry. They're excited to play this game. They get to come out and see the mountains and see the snow, and they get excited for this type of environment. And
Brandon Averett at the buzzer.
You can see that's about the 3rd or 4th possession. The Wolverines just don't know what to do offensively against this long-armed Rio Grande Valley team.
Johnson looking for some help. Gives it back to Levi. Levi, who's made 6 straight points, 2 3-pointers. Give and go in the paint. Spin move. Olojapoki gets a hand on it. Johnson fighting with Isaiah White for the rebound. Vaqueros come away with it. Kick out to Jackson. Varner can't handle it. Looks back, gets a sign from his coach. 10 on the clock for the Vaqueros. 1-on-1 in the post, and nice move. That's just textbook there from Sean Ray. Vaqueros now on a 10-0 run over the last 3 minutes, Holton.
You can already see we're only 5 minutes into this game, and the energy has just been zapped out of this Wolverine team, and this is where they need someone to step up, and it's usually Isaiah White making some type of hustle play.
There he is, gives way to Ege Hamza. 7 on the clock. 6 on the clock, 5, 4, Hamza, step back, 3-pointer. That one no good. Javon Levi with the rebound for the Vaqueros. Pushes it up the court. QJ in the corner. No good. Poked up. Varner comes away with the rebound. Fights through some Wolverine traffic. Levi with the reset. 10 on the clock for the Vaqueros. Levi finds a crease, drives, stutters, kicks back out, fly by, pull up jumper, off the heel. Averett with the rebound for the Wolverines. Wolverines desperately looking for some offensive help here, and Isaiah White gets fouled and will go to the line as that foul is called against Leslie Varner. And that'll take us to our official immediate timeout. We'll try and catch our breath as the Wolverines will go to the free throw line when we return on the WAC Digital Network after this.
Moments that will never be forgotten. March was made for this. The 2020 WAC Basketball Tournament at the Orleans Arena in WAC Vegas. March 11th through the 14th. Be a part of the madness and witness the triumph. Ticket information, go to wacsports.com.
I have been inspired by strong female athletes, female coaches, women in power. They just really taught me how to be a leader and inspired me to take on leadership roles. It's important to inspire the next generation because it's important to give kids someone to look up to. You know, it's important to have these mentors. I would say to someone who wants to play sports at the D1 level, you got to be good in the community, good in the classroom, and to show people that sports do not define you.
The Vaqueros of UTRGV have ridden their horses into the UCCU Center and taken over pretty much the whole first half. 12-3, an early lead for the orange and gray. Right now, Javon Levi leading all scorers, 6 points. Sean Ray with 2, Leslie Varner with 2, Jordan Jackson with 2 for the Vaqueros. And right now, the only 3 points coming from Trey Woodbury on the first offensive possession for the Wolverines. UTRGV has gotten 4 points off of Utah Valley's turnovers.
And you can just see in that statistical box and in the stat sheet we're looking at, there's kind of just off from the box scores, a separate box that goes over turnovers, points in the paint, second chance, fast break, kind of the, you know, outside of the norm plays, the extra effort type plays, and goose eggs from the Wolverines in all areas.
Isaiah White misses the first. He makes the second. Isaiah White leading the Wolverines in points per game with 15 and rebounds per game with 8.7. I don't know how you get 8.7. I just rounded up to 9. Varner pulls it into a 3, and he drains it. Oh, they're going to say that was a long 2. So 14-4, 10-point lead now for the Vaqueros. TJ Washington in the game for the Wolverines. J.J. Overton going to check in. Coach Madsen trying to find some sort of spark plug here offensively. Washington finds a crease, gets contact, and he'll go to the line.
And on that possession, Rio Grande Valley goes back to a man-to-man defense. And so they've shown 3 or 4 different defenses already in this first 6.5 minutes of the game. And so usually when a team does that, they've schemed for this one. And not that they don't scheme for every game, but they want to get this one. If you're going to throw that many defenses, you want to mix it up that many times with your team, you can tell they're giving the effort to it. And so hopefully with TJ Washington, get these free throws to fall and the Wolverines to get something, momentum going their way.
Washington makes both. Utah Valley now trying to shift their focus on the defensive side to try and get a couple stops here. Utah Valley, again offensively, 0 for the last 6. But they have not been able to stop the Vaqueros defensively whatsoever. Levi behind the back. Stutter step, finally kicks out to Varner with 9 seconds. Varner steps back. He's going to make sure that his feet were behind the line there. That was a three-pointer, and he turned around and made sure the Utah Valley bench saw it too. A little stare down from Varner. 17-6. The Vaqueros on top. Havza. Finally going to go behind the back, drive in the key. Dish. Olojapoki! Two-handed jam. He even jumped up and did the splits, and his legs were as high as Javon Levi's head.
Terrific pass by Havza. We get another quick jump shot.
Varner's feeling it right now. Varner has just erupted for 9 straight points.
And some of those step backs have just been disrespectful in nature, the way that he's not only let the bench know, but he's let Isaiah White know every time down the court as well.
Havza now to Overton. Overton puts it on the floor. Overton, nice floater. That's pretty.
Great patience by him to kind of gather himself and then attack the mismatches. Levi gave up about 4 or 5 inches there on that one.
Here come the Wolverines after another rebound. Washington sees a crease, drives. Utah Valley is going to try and say that ball was on the glass before it was touched. Referees are huddling and thinking about it here. J.J. Overton wants to count it. And they are going to count it. So, and one opportunity for J.J. Overton. And T.J. Washington and the Wolverines with a smile. Another media timeout. We'll take a break. Wolverines trying to claw their way back down 7 here in the UCCU Center on the WAC Digital Network.
Thinking of buying a home? Think bigger. Because with UCCU's low interest rates and low mortgage insurance rates, you could qualify for more house with the same payment you could get from other local lenders. A mortgage with UCCU gives you more purchase power. That means more money you can put into your home or back into your pocket. To learn more, visit uccu.com/morehouse or stop by any UCCU branch today. More house, same payment. Only at UCCU, inspiring smart mortgage decisions.
When you know before you go how the latest breaking news, traffic, and weather will affect you, that equals a good morning. Wake up with the news specialists on KSL Today, weekdays from 4:30 to 7.
Give your head a Mountain Dew kickstart.
Couple spark plugs offensively for the Wolverines have brought them back within single digits here. Trailing right now by 6. And TJ Washington's going to go to the line to try and finish a three-point play. Eman Olojapoki with that big emphatic dunk. I think sparked a little something offensively for the Wolverines. And Olojapoki right now, he's 9th in the country in blocks. And he's got 51 blocks on the season. And that number continues to climb. Most likely he will try and take over the record set by Kola Manyang 2 years ago. TJ Washington makes that other free throw. So 5-point game. Vaqueros driving in the paint, looking for some help. Kick out, three-pointer, and that one's good. Splash down there from Chris Freeman. Isaiah White calling for it. Driving hard, foul called against the Vaqueros. Jamal Gaines, the guilty party. That'll send Isaiah White back to the free throw line.
That was an impressive transition shift after a made three-point shot to get it up the floor. Isaiah White beat the entire Rio Grande Valley team down the court, and a nice pass ahead by TJ Washington.
Isaiah White gets the shooter's touch. And that last offensive series, Utah Valley didn't hesitate. They just quickly got the ball out like the Utah Valley teams we've seen the past couple of years, and they just try to take advantage of an open look.
Yeah, and that was a smart play there by TJ, because after each made basket, Rio Grande Valley's tried to press each time, and so they usually have 4 guys on the other side of half court, and they attacked it before they were able to get that trap set and had numbers going the other way.
Isaiah White going against Varner. Nice baseline jumper from Freeman. Back-to-back buckets for the junior. 23-15, Vaqueros on top. J.J. Overton at the free throw line, kicks back. T.J. Washington steps into a three-pointer. T.J. Washington. 18-23. Isaiah White's careful not to lean too much into Varner there. Got away with one. Freeman. To Biamaka. Back in the corner. Isaiah White gobbles it up. Isaiah White back to Averett. Averett, T.J. Washington thought about it. Averett back to Washington. Back to Averett. Now White. Washington's going to let it fly from distance. That one rims off nuts. Didn't miss by much, though. Freeman from top of the key this time. That one misses. Isaiah White can't connect it. UTRGV. Varner in the corner. Count it! Varner with the three-pointer and the foul. He'll go to the free throw line to try and complete the rare 4-point play.
Terrific hustle there by Gaines to stay with that offensive rebound. From our angle, it looked like it had gone out of bounds, but he stayed with the play and found Varner, who Orients had just had no answer for in this first half. I thought on that last possession offensively, T.J. Washington and Brandon missed Overton a couple times. He's done a great job of making himself available in that zone around the high post. Since he's come into the game, he's made a lot of good plays to break down that zone.
So the referees are trying to have a discussion about the game clock. Varner is trying to complete the 4-point play, already in double digits. The first player on both teams in double digits right now at 10. It makes that 11, his jersey number. Varner had a team-high 19 points along with 8 boards on Thursday at Seattle. Continues to just be a machine. And like you said, Holton Wolverines just have had no answer for him. Less than 10 to play in the first period. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us be a part of your afternoon on the WAC Digital Network. Utah Valley offensively trying to find an answer. J.J. Overton, Kazan Jardine. That one comes off right. Brandon Morley with the big rebound. Still with it. Morley gives away to J.J. Overton. Overton dishes, gives back to the big fella. Puts it up and in. The word that you used to describe J.J. Overton was patience, and I think that's the most appropriate word, especially offensively. Brandon Morley stays his ground. That one looked like it was poked away from him off of UTRGV, and a little bit more of some chutzpah from the Wolverines here.
Both plays by right there by the big man. First the offensive rebound, and then Overton on the pass to reward the big man. And when you do that, they usually have a little bit more energy on the defensive end, and he makes a great play there defensively.
Kazan Jardine with the bonus shot. Foul's called. Uche Dibiamaka is guilty. Connor Raines checks in for Freeman for the Vaqueros. Wolverines down by 6, 20-26. Washington. Jardine. Overton drives with the floater on the left-hand side. J.J. Overton really taking over offensively for the Wolverines this first half.
Like we said before, those guards kind of, negate the athleticism of T.J. Washington and Brandon Averett. But Overton, he's an extremely athletic wing who's been able to give Rio Grande Valley some problems.
And Rob McLean Jr. flies, turns his back towards Brandon Morley, throws up a circus shot over his head, gets bailed out by the whistle. And McLean Jr. will go to the line to shoot. Wolverines bring it within 4, but McLean's going to try to extend it. He misses. McLean, the junior guard from Red Lake, Minnesota. Coming to UTRGV via United Tribes Technical College. Misses both. Now the Wolverines have an opportunity to bring it within 1. Closest that they've had since that first possession offensively where TJ Woodbury made the go-ahead three-pointer. Averett steps into it. No. Rebounded by the Vaqueros. Here comes Javon Levi. Cross-court pass. Dibiamaka stepped out of bounds.
This is always a struggle that teams have, right? Rio Grande Valley is basically outside of Levi, has completely gone to their bench as Jackson quickly subs back in as the Wolverines making a run at him. How long can the bench give your starting 5 a rest? And something so important as this season gets longer and longer after playing Thursday night, having to travel all day Friday, and these guys will start to feel it in the second half, I'm sure.
Washington to Overton. Back to Averett. Averett being molested. Jardine, Washington. Nice, beautiful pass. J.J. Overton gets tripped up. No blood, no foul. Ball flies up into the stands. Referee says it's going to stay with Utah Valley, however. And we'll try and sort this one out when we return. Wolverines trail by 4 at the UCCU Center. We'll be right back on the WAC Digital Network.
I came to college to play my sport, but more importantly, to earn a degree.
I'm constantly learning from those around me, my professors and peers, my coaches and teammates, and even my opponents.
There's nothing better than game day, battling side by side with my teammates.
The competition is what pushes me to be the best that I can be.
I take pride in my community and want to ensure that I am giving back and inspiring the next generation to do the same.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter. Shortstop. High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
A flurry of Wolverines have helped come off the bench, score some points to bring the Wolverines within 4. 26-22, the Vaqueros on top of the Wolverines. About 7:40 left to play here in the first half. Again, thank you for joining us here on the WAC Digital Network, on KSL, on YouTube. Right now, leading scorer for the Wolverines, TJ Washington with 8 points. J.J. Overton off the bench with 4 points. Brandon Morley with 2 points. Trey Woodbury still with 3. Isaiah White with 3. And Eman Olojapoki with 2. Leslie Varner still leads everybody with 11 points. And right behind him, Javon Levi with 6. And Freeman with 5 for the Vaqueros. TJ Washington gets it back, however, by Cassie Jardine, who drives, gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
As you mentioned, the spark off the bench. TJ Washington coming off the bench this afternoon, something he's not used to, primarily in the starting lineup, but I think he's done a great job. He's got 8 points. And one thing that we mentioned before, as we started off the game with a couple turnovers, we haven't mentioned him in the last little bit. TJ hasn't had any turnovers and has done a great job of getting everybody involved and putting pressure on the defense, and he just changes this team when he can lead out like that and take care of the basketball.
Kaz and Jardine's free throws bring the Wolverines within 2. 24-26, 7:30 left to play in the first half. Wolverines trying to play defense, and another foul is called against the Wolverines. Sean Ray trying to do work in the post, and they're going to call this on Isaiah White. That'll be his first personal foul. Ray scored a season-high 13 points on Thursday in that loss in Seattle. Hits the first free throw. And makes both. So Ray, 4 points so far. And perfect 2 of 2 from the stripe. And a forced pass by the Wolverines, and a foul's called on J.J. Overton for the Wolverines. That'll be his first personal. Wolverines now trail 24-28.
TJ tried to force that one in there early, which is tough to do against both guards kind of preset in that zone. And there's gaps within that zone that Overton's open there in the middle as we get Jackson showing his elevation on a jumper, and a good rebound there by Morley.
J.J. Overton drives, dishes to Cassidy Jardine. Still with it. Jardine tries baseline now. Jardine's going to take it himself. No good. And they're going to call a foul offensively against Cassidy Jardine. Jardine trying to plead his case. And that'll be his second personal foul. UTRGV, we talked about how they exploded Holton and really haven't looked back offensively, but they haven't been able to score a bucket in the last 3 minutes. So Utah Valley's doing something defensively.
I think a big part of it is we get a short
that helps
three
too.
There.
Now J.J. Overton for the Wolverines. Pulls it back. T.J. Washington. Trey Woodbury back into the game for the Wolverines. Woodbury. Washington. Washington with 9 on the clock. Drives. Creates contact. Count it. T.J. Washington with the foul will go to the free throw line to try and get that third point.
I was going to say what's really helped the Wolverines, not only not allowing easy baskets and with off of turnovers or anything in transition, but Varner's been on the bench for quite some time here on this stretch, and we'll see how long Rio Grande Valley keeps him there.
Washington completes the three-point play. Washington now with 11 points, tied with Varner. Curious to see when Coach Lou Hill will bring in Varner. 6 minutes left in the first half, 27-28. The Wolverines have come back. They were down by 12 earlier. Woodbury now Overton with the rebound for the Wolverines. Overton in the corner. Cross-court pass, Isaiah White wide open. That one comes up short. Olojapoki with the rebound. Washington again drives, kicks it back out to Overton. Overton with 5 on the clock, behind the back dribble. Overton with 3, gonna have to put it up. Desperation heave, no good. Olojapoki another board. Back to Overton again. Trey Woodbury gives up another open look. Isaiah White in the corner, yes! Utah Valley retakes the lead for the first time since 10 seconds into the game. Timeout on the floor. 30-28 Wolverines on top. Great ball movement. Wolverines.
Here they looks everybody thought timeout. We were going to go to break, and looks like just a quick flop warning they had to get out there. And again, something that they got to come up with a different way of calling it, right? It stops the momentum of the game. Why do we need to stop to make a flop warning call? Take care of it at the next media timeout or something, especially if it doesn't immediately turn into a technical foul, which it does on the second one.
First time the Wolverines have had a lead, like I said, since Trey Woodbury's three-pointer 10 seconds into the game. Big block by Iman Olojapoki, continuing his blocking streak. 52 blocks on the season now for number 4. TJ Washington, and that one tipped off of UTRGV. Isaiah White wanted the oop. TJ didn't see the alley. Turnover. They're going to say it's actually last touched off of TJ Washington. Isaiah White gets his paws in there. And you can see the intensity now turned up offensively for the Vaqueros as Varner checks back into the game. Utah Valley's been on a 6-0 run over the last 90 seconds. Isaiah White, got to be careful defensively. Javon Levi gives way to Varner. Varner pull-up trigger, no good. Vaquero still with it. Jackson gives back to Levi. Whistle called away from the ball against the Vaqueros.
I think they're going to get Jackson on that one. I didn't quite see how him and TJ Washington got tangled up, but you can now sense a little frustration from Rio Grande Valley as you felt that tension amongst the team of the Wolverines early, and then Overton really came in and changed this game.
TJ Washington, Brandon Avery, 2-point Wolverine lead, 30-28, 4 minutes to play. Nice give and go down low. Olojapoki on his back, no blood, no foul. Here come the Vaqueros with an opportunity to tie or retake the lead. Javon Levi pulls it back. Levi finds a crease, goes baseline, kicks it back out to Varner. Varner drives, Euro step, blocked again by Olojapoki. Brandon Averett past the timeline for the Wolverines, trying to add on their lead. TJ with the pump fake, the drive. Isaiah White with it now in front of UTRGV bench. TJ Washington behind the back to himself. Here come the Vaqueros. Levi. Levi drives, kicks it back out to Varner, who's in the key. Ball bouncing all over the place. Fontaine gets it. Back to Levi. Levi with 8 on the clock. Varner with 5. Pull up mid-range jumper, and that's pretty.
Smart play there by Levi, communicating that mismatch to Varner. And he, too, being patient, waiting for that one to develop. And then going back to those E-man blocks. You look at him and you're like, how is this guy 8th or 9th in the country? And he doesn't look that big. And then all of a sudden he unravels these arms and springs up on you. And you're like, this person that looks 6'7" has, he's really like 7'3".
That one last touched off of Utah Valley. That'll go out of play. Tie ball game, 30 apiece. Grab your popcorn, folks. We'll be right back with more. Final 2.5 minutes.
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become?
It doesn't matter your situation in life.
no matter your interest.
Whether your first choice or second chance.
There's a place for you.
Place for you. Place for you at UVU. Place to engage, to rise, to succeed.
To become.
When you know before you go how the latest breaking news, traffic, and weather will affect you, that equals a good morning. Wake up with the news specialists on KSL Today. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us be a part of your afternoon here on the WDN, KSL, and YouTube. Utah Valley was trailing Holton as many as 12, and they come back and they took a brief 2-point lead before UTRGV came back to tie it. But Leslie Varner has just been taken over for UTRGV with 13 points, and TJ Washington now with 11. This is the basketball that people were expecting all season long, honestly.
The spark off the bench, Overton and TJ Washington, they both came out and gave extremely, great efforts. I think led more by Overton, who got into the middle of those zones. You can see his length and athleticism. And in this, they've got out in transition. They've been able to beat Rio Grande Valley down the court before they're able to set up their different defenses.
Averett, Woodbury, Overton. Overton pull-up jumper from the elbow. That one again off of Olojupoki. I like the confidence from J.J. Overton. We've seen him make those shots consistently before. That one just went about as far in the hoop before it popped right back out. 2 minutes even left in the first half. Vaqueros, again, another miss. Here comes Brandon Averett, head full of steam. Drives, stops, pops. No rebounding, no white shirts in the key whatsoever for the Utah Valley Wolverines. Javon Levi pulls back the reins. Vaqueros trying to set something up. He looks back. He looks confused. And that forces the Vaqueros to take a timeout.
30-second timeout.
And we'll take a quick break as well. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Blake. And I'm Ben. For over 9 decades, our family has the reputation of being focused on price, selection, and service.
This decade is no different. Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on a new Santa Fe or purchase a new Tucson for just $19,990.
You've got to come and see us in Murdoch Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Tyson.
For over 9 decades, our family has the reputation of being focused on price, selection, and service.
This new decade is no different. Right now, take up to $10,000 off the new Silverado All-Star Edition.
You've got to come and see us at Murdoch Chevrolet.
Minute 30 left to play in the first half. Vaqueros with it. Levi with 5 on the shot clock. Kicks it back out. 3 on the clock, 2 on the clock, 1 on the clock. Counts if it goes. That one no good. Woodbury, the last 3 rebounds for the Wolverines. Bounce pass to Isaiah White. Woodbury now to Averett. Woodbury, Isaiah White. Woodbury again. Averett. J.J. Overton with 9 on the clock. Averett thought about it. 5 on the clock, 4 on the clock. Puts it up. And I think he thought somebody was going to be there for an alley-oop or something, but nobody was there.
I'd take that one too. Again, as they mix up defenses out of every timeout, and it seems like every 3 or 4 possessions, it's hard to get into a rhythm offensively. And that's why we've seen some extended possessions and some forced shots late in the shot clock, because you can't predict it and kind of get into a flow offensively with how Rio Grande Valley's playing it.
Varner with the floater over Olojupoki. Ball on the floor, bouncing all over the place. Finally out of play. They're going to say off of UTRGV. So the Wolverines will get the ball with 21.5 seconds left. And TJ Washington checking back in.
Substitution to Wolverines, number 3, TJ Washington.
And we'll see what play Coach Madsen draws up. Casson Jardine now making a last-second substitution for J.J. Overton. Still tied at 30 apiece. See how Utah Valley finishes out the half. 10 on the clock. Washington drives. 8 on the clock. Pull-up jumper. That one no good. Nobody there for the rebound. 2 seconds. 1 second. Desperation heave. Counts if it goes. Does not go. And UTRGV and Utah Valley will go to their separate halves of the court at the break with 30 points apiece. What started out, Holden, was a little shaky offensively for the Wolverines. They were able to tighten up those screws and come right back in. And again, here we are tied up at 30 apiece.
I thought they did a great job of, again, we've mentioned over and over again the changing defenses. They did a good job of taking care of the basketball. And then, you know, once they hit that 12 or 11-minute mark, it seemed like we saw a new team out there. They found life, they found energy, and their effort totally changed in that first half. And to see 30-30 up there after being down 12 or 13, it's got to be a relief going back into the locker room.
Big spark plugs coming off the bench for the Wolverines, but they'll take a 30-30 total at the half. We'll take a quick break as well. Again, we'll be right back with the Wolverines basketball on the WAC Digital Network after this.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
Smooth sailing.
More traffic.
Great looking day ahead.
More weather.
New details are emerging.
More breaking news. Whenever, wherever.
That's good news.
More ways to know before you go.
You're going to like the morning commute.
On KSL Today. Weekday mornings on KSL 5.
If we can see things for what they are. If we can see what they could be. If the plastic we use, we never throw away. If the end of one thing could be the beginning of the next. If we know that less can create more. If we can return, we reciprocate, we regenerate. If we are here for others, if we can work as a team, all we have to do is connect, and the world opens up. The future is about giving back.
To national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go? Let's have fun.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
Thinking of buying a home? Think bigger. Because with UCCU's low interest rates and low mortgage insurance rates, you could qualify for more house with the same payment you could get from other local lenders. A mortgage with UCCU gives you more purchase power. That means more money you can put into your home or back into your pocket. To learn more, visit uccu.com/morehouse or stop by any UCCU branch today. More house, same payment. Only at UCCU, inspiring smart mortgage decisions.
What's the difference between buying from Murdoch and buying from somebody else?
In a word, confidence. You'll love our price match guarantee, our 5-day exchange policy,
and don't forget car washes and safety inspections for life. If you need a new vehicle, consider Murdoch Chevrolet. I promise you'll love it.
Who am I? And furthermore, what do I want? What makes you itch? That's the most important investigation anyone can make. But you don't find this out until you investigate it. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Because if you say that money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Forget the money. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, you can eventually become a master of it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question. What do I desire?
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices. Experienced? Check. Accurate? Check. The team more Utahns trust to stay safe from winter weather surprises? Check, 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 and check. Know before you go. Check with the KSL 5 weather specialists.
What's the difference between buying from Murdoch and buying from somebody else? In a word, confidence. You'll love our price match guarantee, our 5-day exchange policy,
and don't forget car washes and safety inspections for life.
If you need a new vehicle, consider Murdoch Hyundai. I promise you'll love it.
The path to true success is achieved through determination.
With the goal!
Determination to grow, to push through, and to finish. Utah Valley student athletes strive for these qualities. UVU student athletes need your support from the community, their peers, and their families to achieve this growth and success in life.
Has an opportunity laid down, and there it is! A dive into third base.
Support from donors like you makes a significant impact on the lives of more than 370 Wolverine student athletes. The General Athletic Scholarship Fund will help our student athletes be successful in the classroom, on the field, and in life. Please support our student athletes with a personal donation and watch these men and women grow now and in the future.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow alongside Holden Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us be a part of your afternoon here on the WAC Digital Network, KSL streaming app, as well as YouTube. Holden, it's tied 30-30, and Utah Valley trailed as much as 12, 13 points even in that first half. What was the difference in making them with that comeback?
Well, there's an old adage, right, that the bench can teach you a lot of lessons. And they brought they brought T.J. Washington off the bench. He'd been struggling, lots of turnovers, struggling from the field, and came out in that first half off the bench with 11 points, only 2 turnovers and a couple assists. In my opinion, it's been kind of getting T.J. back into this game, and then Overton gave him a ton of energy off the bench, which has really been a key in this first half.
Early on, Utah Valley could not find an answer to save their lives for Javon Levi and Leslie Varner. Varner with 13 points, Levi with 6 points. But toward the end of that first half, Utah Valley buckled down defensively, got some stops when they needed to. And here we are. Stage is set for round 2. Second half begins 30-30. Utah Valley, the big number that I'm looking at right now, Holton, is 5 turnovers. If Utah Valley can continue to limit those turnovers, they will put themselves in a great position to become victorious at the end of this. UTRGV right out of the gate, trying to go at Eman Olojupoki. Olojupoki denies UTRGV, but there they are right back from the get-go. Sean Ray with the flush.
And that's how this thing started. They're just the aggressors. That rebound, that possession was over as Trey Woodbury skied and got that rebound, but these guys are just scrappy, and they've been hungry and fought for every possession and ball.
And Brandon Averett loses that one, goes out of play. (32-30). Vonqueto's on top right out of the gate here in the second half. Levi. Ray going to go 1v1 against Olojupoki. Ray pulls back. And QJ misses. Rebounded by Isaiah White. Here comes Brandon Averett. Past the timeline for the Wolverines. Cassie Jardine. Isaiah White steps into a 3. That one's short. Varner. Now Levi. Levi with the stutter step. Bounce pass to Varner. Varner with the teardrop over Olojupoki. And if you're going to be in that area, that's the only way to get over Eman's hands.
I think that one almost hit the shot clock. It was so high. And again, that's how Eman changes games. But give Varner credit. He is a terrific scorer and has length and athleticism himself.
15 points already. And a foul's called against Jordan Jackson as Brandon Averett goes to the floor. Averett gets it in. Trey Woodbury lets it fly, and Woodbury starts the second half just like he did the first half with a three-pointer. (33-34). Vonqueto's on top by 1. Levi goes behind the back, loses Averett, trying to do an alley-oop. Kind of a broken play, but Sean Ray there to put it through nonetheless.
Nice job by Levi recognizing that Eman gets those blocks for a reason. He started to sneak up off of Ray down low and a nice little lob pass to him.
Trey Woodbury. Isaiah White. White puts it on the floor. An offensive foul call against Isaiah White. Those elbows coming up a little bit too high.
Offensive foul, number 0, Isaiah White. Vaqueros basketball.
Wolverines trail by 3. Levi with it. for the Vaqueros. Varner, top of the key. Bounce pass, baseline. And we've seen Jackson go on SportsCenter before, and he was trying to do it again. And that's going to go against Eman Alojapoki. That'll be his second personal. TJ Washington, JJ Overton. About to check in as Brandon Averett walks over to his bench. And those two were the big spark plugs in that first half coming off the bench to help springboard the Wolverines with that 17-5 bench advantage.
And you can see even the offense early on in this second half is very stagnant. With Overton, they brought in, he brought movement and motion into the offense, and then TJ has always been good at getting into the paint and finding open guys, and hopefully they can continue to find those weak spots in this zone in the second half.
5-point Vaquero lead, 38-33. TJ Washington with it with the Wolverines. Cross court to Overton. Overton with the spin move, stops, pops, and gets the shooter's touch from the free throw line. That confidence continuing to ooze out of J.J. Overton, and the more that confidence boils,
and you
the
see,
better he plays.
Yeah, and the way that jump shot comes off of his hands, it's a high release, and so it's tough to defend. And if he can get going, it'll be a fun second half for the Wolverines.
Levi stops, pull-up jumper, no good. Big rebound there from Overton. Here comes T.J. Washington. Washington back to Overton. Jardine on the floor. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, against Quentin Johnson. And that'll be his first personal. And a quick substitution from Coach Lou Hill. Ray steps off. And Isaiah Fontaine steps on. Overton to Washington. Woodbury. Overton drives, puts it up, no good. TJ Washington somehow was able to get that rebound. No look pass to Kazan Jardine in front of his own bench. No good. Eman Alojapoki trying to save it. Too late. That one goes off. Last touch by the Wolverines. And that'll take us to our media timeout. 38-35. Vaqueros still on top by 3. We'll be right back from Orem, Utah after this on the WAC Digital Network.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
Vaqueros with a 38-35 lead on top of the Wolverines in Orem, Utah. Right now, your leading scorer for the Vaqueros, Leslie Varner, with 15, leading all scorers, as a matter of fact. And right behind him on his own squad, Sean Ray with 8 points, Javon Levi with 6, Jordan Jackson with 4, Chris Freeman with 5. For the Wolverines, your leading scorer is TJ Washington, getting 11 points off of 3 of 7 shooting, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Trey Woodbury adding in his 2 3-pointers to make his 6 points. And Jamison Overton with 6 points as well. Utah Valley finished off the half with 5 turnovers and quickly got 3 in the first 5 minutes. So now they have 8 turnovers. If they can keep that, again, that's going to be the factor. With those 3 extra turnovers, they're down by 3 points. Javon Levi forces up a shot, no good. TJ Washington with the rebound for the Wolverines. Washington zigs and zags. Cassie Jardine steps into a 3. That one's no good. Overton saves it. Olojapoki. Now Washington. And Washington gets his pocket picked. Javon Levi going up against Trey Woodbury, draws the foul. And Levi will go to the line to shoot 2. Another turnover.
Again, TJ just trying to do just 1 or 2 dribbles too many there in the lane, and great effort by JJ in the corner to keep the possession alive. And TJ just kind of gets himself dribbled in there too deep with no options at times, and just needs to escape, dribble out of it, and get things reestablished.
Levi's free throw is good. Now 7 points on the evening for the junior guard. Pride of Shoemaker High School in Texas. He misses. TJ Washington there with the rebounds. The Wolverines trail by 4. 39 for the Vaqueros, 35 for the Wolverines. Washington gives way to Woodbury, back to Washington. Jardine now with it. Washington steps into a 3-pointer. That one didn't touch iron. Jardine with the rebound. 10 on the shot clock for the Wolverines. Trey Woodbury stutter step drive with the layup. Gets the contact, no foul call. The whole Wolverine bench with their hands up in the air wondering where the whistle was. It's a good attack by Trey Woodbury, but now here comes Javon Levi. Levi goes around the trees in the paint. Stutter step goes back, kicks out to Varner. Back to Levi with 8 on the clock. Levi, deep 3-pointer. That one no good. Right into Varner's hands. Fresh shot clock for the Vaqueros, and they're going to milk it. Seven on the clock for Levi. Levi, cross-court pass. 4 on the shot clock. 3 on the shot clock. 2, 1. Looked like it was still in his hands. Nonetheless, here comes Utah Valley. Solid defensive stop there by the Wolverines. Overton going to try and drive. That's his favorite spot. And that's why he's so consistent.
That's what they needed in that first half. And again, as you saw, those possessions get long. When you give up 1 or 2 offensive rebounds on the defensive end, that was a big stop for the Wolverines. And then a nice little jump shot there by the free throw line. As Overton continues to work against Varner, who makes a tough shot over Brandon Morley.
Varner wants 20 points because right now he's already at 17. Varner again, 19 points on Thursday, trying to eclipse that one. Washington with a drive, and finally a whistle's called. I think Washington was trying to find Brandon Morley. That one's going to go against Javon Levi. I beg your pardon. They're going to switch that and say it was Uche Dibiamaka. Uche Dibiamaka from Australia. And we send our love and prayers out to his home country. Devastating fires going on there. Washington making the first free throw. Ege Hamza checking in for Trey Woodbury. And Washington doesn't get it. And they're going to say this was last touch by Brandon Morley. Be Vaquero basketball. Wolverines trail by 3. 13 minutes exactly left to play.
As we've mentioned, the turnover game, as you look for how the Rio Grande Valley has taken care of the basketball. They've only turned it over twice this game. It's something the Wolverines as well as Overton, as we speak of it. Should be an and one.
And one, J.J. Overton. Varner in transition. And that right there is exactly what Utah Valley needs. Take another look at it. Overton right before he took off. Got the little tug. And he finished. But that energy right there, that's what the Wolverines have been lacking all season long, really.
And they don't create a lot of turnovers that translate into transition baskets. And that's 3 easy points created out of Overton's hustle and terrific hands on the defensive end.
J.J. Overton now in double digits with 11 points. He and T.J. Washington both off the bench. 23 points between the two of them.
J.J.'s doing a great job of not letting Varner get the ball in that offensive end.
Bounce pass to Varner. Last touch off of Varner. And some more frustration now starting to show from the Vaqueros.
That's back-to-back turnovers created by J.J.
And right there, the full emotion from J.J. Overton screaming to the fans, telling the fans, let's go. Utah Valley all tied up 41 apiece. This is fun basketball. This is WAC basketball. Right after this.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to leave it all on the mat. Because that's what I do when I get it done so I can do it. Yeah! I'm on a new level. Give your head a Mountain Dew kickstart.
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
(41-41), Utah Valley and UTRGV going back and forth, taking their own shots, swinging back and forth like they're in the octagon tonight in Las Vegas. A big fight between Cowboy and Conor McGregor. Speaking of Las Vegas, if you want to buy your tickets to WAC Vegas, you can go to GoUView.com as T.J. Washington gets rejected on the other end by UTRGV. WAC Vegas not that far away. Varner steps into a 3, flails, trying to get another foul call. Morley with the rebound. Cassie Jardine wide open down low, calling for it. I don't know where Ege Havza was throwing that ball. It's a wild play the last 30 seconds on the court. Fontaine in the post, trying to dunk it, and they're going to say it was on the cylinder. No shot. Utah Valley basketball.
Can you breathe yet?
What did we just see? And I think
we're going to need that timeout right after that.
We'll take a quick break. Media timeout to try and figure out what the heck we just saw. Still 41 apiece. During this commercial break, go to GoUView.com and buy your tickets for WAC Vegas. We'll be right back.
In the WAC, we value sportsmanship on the field,
on the track, on the court, in the pool,
and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
the officials,
the fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about keeping everything in perspective.
It's about taking ownership after a loss.
And being humble after a win.
We hope you'll team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines.
Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
The Wolverines injecting some energy in this UCCU Center on a Saturday afternoon. Fans getting involved, 41 apiece. In a game where the lead has changed about 5 times, it's been tied 3 times. This is fun.
Do you enjoy afternoon games? I loved afternoon games.
Afternoon games are great. I know J.J. Overton's enjoying this afternoon game.
Yes, he does.
He's got 11 points. He's 3 shy of his career high and season high 14.
He's got a big date tonight, and so that's why,
That's
right?
why. Ege Hamza gives way to Isaiah White. So less than 12 to play in regulation. I say regulation because UTRGV's had a knack of playing some overtime games so far this year. Isaiah White with 8 on the clock. Washington. Overton with 6. 5. Stops. Pops. Gets fouled. And he'll go to the free throw line. J.J. Overton single-handedly taking his teammates on his back, saying, follow me.
Again, he's got that awkward release because, again, it's so high, but then he brings it back behind his head, and Varner trying to give a little bit extra contest. Got him on the follow-through.
Beautiful stroke. Reminds me of a poor man's Lamar Odom, that left-handed stroke. Overton makes both. Now J.J. Overton just 1 point away from his season and career high 14. And he overtakes the team lead. His T.J. Washington, his teammate right behind him with 12. Vaqueros, jump shot. Overton, who else with the rebound? Utah Valley with the 6-0 run. Make it an 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes. Career high, season high for J.J. Overton.
And this really is what makes conference basketball so fun, is because you don't know who late in the season is going to surface and who's going to have a big game for you. And that's why it's also important, no matter what spot you are on the bench or what, you know, your role may be, you never know when that's going to change. And JJ's definitely changing his season up and hopefully getting the Wolverines a big conference win.
45-41. Wolverines with their largest lead of the game. Levi with it. Spin move in the paint. And they're going to call Brandon Averett with the reach. UTRGV looking for their first bucket in the last 3 minutes. They're going to go down low. Brandon Morley there, but an even better finish from Sean Ray. And Ray now is in double digits with 10 points.
This is also the time where, you know, Rio Grande Valley has gone back to their bench, and so it's an opportunity for the Wolverines to kind of extend this lead with Varner and Jackson both getting a rest.
Averett. JJ. Averett. 8 on the clock. Gives it back to Isaiah White. 7. And a foul is going to be called against the Vaqueros on Rob McClain Jr. And that'll be his first personal. Ege Hamza with 20 on the clock coming out of this. Overton back to Averett. 9 on the clock for Isaiah White. 7, 6, 5, 4. Averett, 3, 2. Step back. No good. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, I agree with Brandon on that one. JJ kind of left him in a bad spot with only 2 seconds. If you're the guy with the ball in your hands with 5, you got to create something to get a shot.
Emmanuel Lojapoki set to come in for the Wolverines. Levi goes past Morley, gets a kiss off the glass, and a nice putback from Sean Ray. Great timing to make sure he didn't hit that when it was on the cylinder.
I thought initially he wanted to go after it, but it was still on the rim. hang time, and nice timing by him.
Avery in trouble, gives way to Havza. Havza drives, dishes, and an offensive foul called against Ege. And this last 2-minute stretch here, Utah Valley has gone backwards.
Yeah, it's been, again, when TJ's gone to the bench, as he gets right back in here, he just brings stability and confidence to everyone around him, even though, again, he's been plagued a little bit with turnovers. When he takes care of that basketball, this Wolverine team is a different team.
45 apiece, 9 minutes left to play in regulation. Tibiamaka goes left. Jackson with 9 on the clock drives. Jackson stops, and a travel call against Jordan Jackson. And these turnovers continue to pile up for UTRGV now. Not as many as Utah Valley. Utah Valley still double digits with 12. But for a team that only had 2 turnovers at the half, already doubling that and exceeding that with 5 turnovers here in the second. Foul called against UTRGV. That one's going to go against Rob McClain Jr.
Number 12, Rob McClain Jr.
Trey Woodbury coming back in.
The Wolverines, number 0, Isaiah White.
Isaiah White's been stuck at 6 points for at least 15 minutes.
His impact, I mean, we've seen JJ everywhere, but Isaiah White, when Varner's in the ball game, has had quite an assignment of kind of maintaining him defensively, and so sometimes it's tough to play both sides and focus on both sides of the ball. I thought he's done a great job defensively taking on big assignments against guys like Varner.
Wolverines with the 1-point lead, 46-45. Vaquero basketball. 8:23 left in the game. Nice jump step. No good there. Big rebound, however, on the other side by McClain. McClain showing off those hops. UTRGV retakes the lead, 47-46. Brandon Averett, alley-oop! E-Man Olojapoki throwing it down.
What a pass by Brandon. Able to find him off of a hesitation, his head down, and that time I don't think that was a floater.
And you know what? Chris Freeman says, okay, you can have your dunk. Here's my 3-pointer. Vaqueros retake the lead, 50-48. It's like a welterweight boxing match here, blow for blow, these teams. We'll take a quick break. 7:40 left to play in Orem, Utah.
Looking to spend that birthday money, Tyler? I'm just not sure which one to get. Well, they are both pretty cool. But saving some of that money would be pretty cool, too. Yep.
When's the right age to teach your children how to save and spend money wisely? Right now, with the Be Money Smart program only at Utah Community Credit Union. Inspiring smart decisions.
E-Man Olojapoki, the recipient, off of a beautiful lob from Brandon Averett. And then on the other side, Chris Freeman takes us to break with a 3-pointer in front of his own bench to answer. And that brings us to where we are, 50-48. Vaqueros with a 2-point lead, 7:40 left to play. Utah Valley bench still outscoring UTRGV. That's where Utah Valley, like you said, Holton, trying to make their advantage is when UTRGV goes to their bench. Right now, Utah Valley, 29 bench points, and UTRGV's 10.
And it was a couple of, long distance threes and an offensive rebound that has kind of kept Rio Grande Valley just ahead of the Wolverines when Varner and Jackson went to the bench. And now with, just under 8 minutes to play, and I'm sure we'll continue to see this pressure defense from Rio Grande Valley, this continual full court mix of zone and man-to-man press. It can start to wear on you as a guard as you have to focus every single possession and sprint to beat that time clock and the 10-second count each time up down the court.
7:30 left to play. Wolverines down by 2. Washington bounce pass to Isaiah White for 3. That one no good. Big rebound or attempted rebound there from the Vaqueros. And I think they're going to call this on Chris Freeman. So that'll be a foul against the Vaqueros. Cassie Jardine steps in for Brandon Averett. And Eman Olojupoki will go to the free throw line.
Number 11, Leslie Parker, the second, and number 14, Javon Levi.
The 64% free throw shooter continues to tack on some points. 5 points now for Olojupoki. 4 rebounds, 4 blocks. $49-50. Vaqueros still on top by 1. And a whistle called away from the ball. And they're going to call that one on Eman Olojupoki.
I think the official threw a harder elbow
than Eman
making the call than Eman did on the block. I think Eman just kind of putting his hands up, trying to get long in the paint. Ended up hitting Jackson as he was running through.
Jackson makes the first. 5 points now for Jackson. 1 of 4 from the floor. Perfect at the free throw line.
Again, in this last, 7-minute stretch, I hope to see TJ Washington kind of slow it down after they beat the press. It's always hard. You have to kind of pick your spots to beat this press against this length of Rio Grande Valley, but then to slow things down and hopefully get some type of ball screen action where he does so well of getting into the paint and creating for his teammates.
There he goes. Washington, another alley-oop. Eman Olojupoki from TJ Washington. Thank you, sir. 51-52. .640 left. Levi in the corner. Levi goes around Overton. Kick out. QJ, no good. Isaiah White with the rebound. Somehow was able to get that to TJ Washington. Washington with numbers. Jardine puts it up and in. Utah Valley retakes the lead. 53-52. Coach Madsen's going to call a timeout.
No, I think they're going to delay a game just after that one hit out of the net. I think Jardine touched it. But that was kind of a funny possession there as Isaiah White skied for the rebound and almost like a receiver came down with it and didn't fumble it, to his credit. But then the entire Rio Grande Valley team turned into officials as they all signaled for a travel while TJ Washington and Jardine kept playing ball and able to escape and push it to a layup there. I think we are going to get a technical foul. I didn't know we had a first delay game.
I don't remember where the first delay game came from.
I keep a lot of stats here on my own. I didn't chalk that one up either. No, just between that and the new flop rule. Again, I didn't even see Jardine touch it enough to cause the delay game, but again, no damage done, no, besides just to stop the transition break there.
Wolverines still holding on to a 53-52 lead with 6:25 left to play. Levi, the recipient for the Vaqueros. Down low to Jackson. Jackson rises, elevates, and flushes a mid-range jumper. Washington being pestered. Gets fouled from behind on Jackson. And that'll be number 4 on Jackson.
Number 4 on Jackson, and the 9th team foul for Rio Grande Valley. So the next one's going to put the Wolverines at the line for the rest of the game for 2 free throws. And this actually is a really good free throw shooting team for the Wolverines. And we saw E-Man make a pair a little bit earlier as TJ gets that one to go.
Washington is an 82% free throw shooter on the season, and he makes both. So 55-54, the Wolverines again retake the lead. Now this is fun. This is what basketball's supposed to be. Varner, haven't called his name in quite a while. J.J. Overton had his hand on the ball as that came up. And that'll be very close. J.J. thought he anticipated.
And I think that one, J.J. was the victim of just the range of motion, the swat that he brought down. He kind of came from above his own shoulder to swat down on that ball, and I think just the appearance of it is what the official called, as it did look pretty clean from our angle.
Varner makes the first free throw. 18 points so far for Leslie Varner from Cedar Hill, Texas, the senior forward. And Varner makes both, so now that's officially back-to-back games with 19 points for Leslie Varner. Isaiah White with it. Back to TJ Washington in the middle of the logo. 5:40 left to play in regulation. 55-56, Wolverines trail by 1. Overton going 1v1, stops. No good. Eman Olojapoki almost had the rebound, put back dunk. Now here comes Levi and the Vaqueros. Levi calling for the clear out.
Levi again sees that matchup with Varner and TJ Washington. Nice job by JJ did a terrific job of seeing the mismatch and trying to get the ball out of Varner's hands, and just a little over aggressive there, as that's going to be JJ's 4th.
And we know how much of a spark plug and he has been in a defensive stop that he's been for Varner, and just these last 2 minutes really set the Wolverines back, because now they got to go to their bench and try and do different personnel changes here.
And I'm sure that assignment will go to Isaiah White, who's had his share of possessions with Varner and has done a good job of being physical with him, forcing him off the block where he wants to get those catches.
Varner misses. Isaiah White, as you speak, gets the rebound. Javon Levi trying to make a good play defensively. Goes out, so it'll be Wolverine basketball. 5:13 left in regulation. Wolverines trail by 1, 55-56. Washington had Trey Woodbury on the baseline. Instead gets poked away from behind. Washington, Cass and Jardine going to put it on the floor. That one last touched off of the Vaqueros, so the Wolverines will get it with 5 seconds left. And Coach Matson's going to call a timeout, think this one over. And we'll take a break as well. Wolverines will have the basketball. 5 on the shot clock when we return after this.
Hi, I'm Blake. And I'm Ben. For over 9 decades, our family has the reputation of being focused on price, selection, and service.
This decade is no different. Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on a new Santa Fe or purchase a new Tucson for just $19,990.
You've got to come and see us in Murdoch Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Ben. And I'm Tyson. For over 9 decades, our family has the reputation of being focused on price, selection, and service.
This new decade is no different. Right now, take up to $10,000 off the new Silverado All-Star Edition.
You've got to come and see us at Murdoch Chevrolet.
The Wolverine basketball. TJ Woodbury to inbound. 5 on the shot clock. Wolverines trail by 1. Woodbury looking for some help. Finally finds TJ Washington. 4-3 pull-up three-pointer with the man in his face. Right between the eyes, TJ Washington.
That was an unbelievable shot there by TJ, and a shot that could turn this last 4 minutes for TJ if he can get himself going. As
Trey Woodbury with the rebound for the Wolverines. 2-point Wolverine lead, 58-56. And this crowd wants more to cheer about here at the UCCU Center. TJ Washington pulling it back, milking some clock here. TJ Washington makes his move, drives, gets the kiss in between the square. 60-56, 4-point Wolverine lead.
TJ, an extremely crafty and gifted scorer and passer in the lane. And again, he just needed a little confidence to see that last one go down as we get one from the corner.
What an answer. QJ2 with a 3. 60-59. UTRGV will not go away. TJ Washington wants another. Somehow is able to get that to Trey Woodbury. Woodbury gets fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that'll take us to our under 4 media timeout. Wolverines on top, 60-59. 3:30 left to play on the WDN.
UCCU is both a credit union and a full-service mortgage company.
Which means that UCCU always provides the lowest rates and lower insurance premiums than other lenders.
When your mortgage rate and insurance premium are lower, your monthly payment is also lower.
It's just science.
That's more money you can put into your home.
Or back into your pocket.
So if you're thinking about buying or refinancing a home, talk to us.
The credit union that's been putting people over profits for over 60 years.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
What's the difference between buying from Murdoch and buying from somebody else? In a word, confidence. You'll love our price match guarantee, our 5-day exchange policy, and don't forget car washes and safety inspections for life. If you need a new vehicle, consider Murdoch Chevrolet. I promise you'll love it.
Wolverines on top, 60-59 here in the UCCU Center. There's been 13 lead changes holding in this game. The game has been tied 6 times.
Well, each time I think one's going to start pulling away after a big shot. Just after TJ Washington made that left-handed layup, I thought things were definitely going to change for the Wolverines. And then a big 3 in the corner by Rio Grande Valley. And again, you mentioned they have a knack for pushing things into overtime, and we'll see what happens here.
Trey Woodbury at the line to shoot 2 after he was fouled. Going up for a baseline dunk. Makes the first. And misses the second. So 61-59, 2-point Wolverine lead. And we'll see what the last 3 minutes and 18 seconds has in store for us here. Levi Back to the hoop. Kick out to Varner. Varner with 10 on the shot clock. Kicks back out to Levi. Wide open corner three-pointer. And Levi cold-blooded.
What a shot. And what an unselfish play by Varner, who I'm sure wanted to take that thing as the shot clock was going down, and a bad foul there on the perimeter. And not sure. Well, again, that's their style of basketball, though. They mix it up every possession defensively. That time they wanted to go force the trap, and they're going to put a very good free throw shooter to the line.
That foul is against Chris Freeman from UTRGV. That's his second personal foul. And that'll put TJ Washington at the free throw line. Washington flirting with 20 points with 19. And he makes it an even Vente. Trey Woodbury comes out. J.J. Overton checks back in. And they need J.J. with the last 2 minutes and 56 seconds, but he's got 4 fouls. That's the risk and the roll of the dice for Coach Madsen as T.J. Washington makes both. 63-62. Levi blocked again by Olojapoki, his 5th. Levi, Jackson, no good. Overton. Foul's going to be called against Jackson most likely. It will. And that'll be Jackson's 5th personal foul, and his day is done.
Great rebound by JJ of not giving up on the play. After Levi somehow able to come up with an offensive rebound, the Wolverines able to regroup defensively, and big rebound by JJ to get himself to the free throw line and a 5th foul call.
They wave off the free throw as Utah Valley wanted George Jackson off the court. So JJ got the little practice one in there. And he got in his own head. Misses the first official free throw. 63-62, Wolverines on top by 1. JJ trying to make it 2. And Overton does. (64-62). Levi. Varner pull-up jumper. And that's just textbook. You can't guard that. There's nothing you can do there.
It's all about where you catch the ball on the court. That's probably the 3rd or 4th possession during this ball game where they've done a great job of either getting Jackson or Varner catches around that free throw line.
64 apiece, 21 points on the night for Varner. Washington calling for a screen, gets it from Olojapoki. 12 on the clock. 9 on the clock. Washington between the legs. Washington in the paint, draws the foul. QJ2, Quentin Johnson the second, the guilty party. And that's his second. You talked about TJ being crafty. I don't know how he was able to maneuver between those defenders right there.
Right there, he was not giving that ball up to anybody as he wanted to take this thing on his own, and he has put Wolverines on his back this last 4 minutes.
Washington again with his free throw. Point total 22. Makes it 23 in a 2-point game. 66-64, buck 58 left to play in regulation. And Levi, as soon as he crosses half court, calls a timeout. Timeout Vaqueros. And we'll take a break as well. Timeout on the floor. We'll be right back after this.
What, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
Wolverines with the 66-64 lead on top of the Vaqueros. 1:50 left to play in regulation. Vaqueros right out of the timeout. Go right to Varner. Varner almost traveled, lost his pivot foot. J.J. Overton, great defense. Levi goes past.
Wow.
T.J. Washington and an extended Alojapoki with the kiss off the glass. 66-66. 1:30 left to play in regulation. Washington loses it. No foul call. Here comes Levi.
Nice shot by JJ and finding Varner in transition, and
they're going to say this one was off of the Vaqueros. Utah Valley basketball. And the winner of this one just going to be the last man standing, it looks like. Final 65 seconds in regulation. 66-66. TJ Washington. Washington to his left, right. Draws the contact. Washington gets the foul. No foul. Gets the bucket. The answer on the other side, no good. Varner, mid-range jumper. Yes! Of course it would go. 68-68. 40 seconds left. Washington.
And again, they're going to ride TJ all the way through this one.
I thought I heard a whistle when TJ hit that layup. Here we are, 68-68. And we'll stay here. If you're Coach Madsen, you have 23 on this clock. You've got the possession. You just mentioned you're going to ride TJ, but you got JJ who's also been hot too. What are you drawing up here, Holden?
It's tough because I don't know what they're saying in that other huddle. They've shown 5 or 6 different defenses, and so if you come out expecting to see that 2-3 zone, which we've had for the past 5 or 6 minutes, they can go ahead and screen that outside guard and try to get something for TJ Washington coming off of that ball screen. But with how Rio Grande Valley mixes it up each possession, I imagine it's going to be some type of E-man and TJ Washington ball screen. I wouldn't be surprised to see something, where JJ's coming into the middle of the court, getting a catch, and then finding maybe an Isaiah White or TJ Washington out for 3.
Here's the thing. The Wolverines, they have time. They have 23 seconds. It's not like they need to rush anything. They have about a 12, 13-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock.
And it looks like Rio Grande Valley's going to come out here in a man-to-man. Fall back into the 2-3. You got Isaiah White open in that corner 3, but they did a good job of forcing that ball out of TJ Washington's hand, and Jardine, again, an excellent free throw shooter. We get a chance to put a lead on this thing.
Kaz Jardine, recently engaged Kaz Jardine with 4 points. Makes it 5. And Coach Madsen's going to have a substitution. He's going to bring in Brandon Averett. I wonder if he's bringing him in for Kaz Jardine. Jardine makes both. Gives the Wolverines a 2-point lead, 70-68. And we'll see what Coach Lou Hill has drawn up for his Vaquero squad.
Again, I like the substitution to bring a little athleticism and quickness here. We are going to get a Quick timeout
by the Vaqueros. And we'll keep you here as well. So you have to think the Vaqueros are going to use the full shot clock.
Yeah, I bet you they start going right around that 12 or 10-second mark. But again, with Brandon coming out there, you got T.J. Washington and J.J. as your backcourt. They don't have a whole lot of size, and where Rio Grande Valley's hurt them a little bit these last couple possessions is offensive rebounds. And so look for something and a tip in or some type of action after that first shot goes. But I imagine they're going to try to get Varner a catch either off of that right side block or around the free throw line and see what he can operate and do one-on-one.
The Vaqueros are shooting 6 of 19 from beyond the arc. Out of everybody that's on the floor right now, Levi has made the most three-pointers. He's made 3. And Freeman with 2. So 21 on the clock. Here we go. Levi coming around the corner. Pulls it back. Gives to Varner. Varner dumps it off. A dunk to tie by Sean Ray.
Still a ton of time here, especially as they try to get a catch for T.J. Washington.
11-10 on the clock. T.J. Washington past the timeline, behind the back. 6, 5, 4.
They got him.
T.J. Washington to Isaiah White. 1.3 seconds left. T.J. tips it out of play. 1/10 of the second left. Isaiah White puts the Wolverines on top, 72-70 here at home. The referees are going to take a look at the clock. Coach Lou Hill wanting the Wolverines to take a look at the clock. They're going to put 1.3 seconds back on the shot clock. Excuse me, on the game clock. Kazan Jardine subbing in. And the referees are going to wave off Kazan Jardine and say it's not an official timeout. It's now with 1.3 seconds. Utah Valley on top by 2. It's going to take a desperation.
The biggest scare is make sure no one grabs anybody or holds and get some type of cheap foul call, because
there's the inbound from Varner. Does not count. No good. The Wolverines come from behind and get the much-needed victory at home today. 72-70. Wolverines on top of the Vaqueros.
You knew it was going to be some type of combination with T.J. Washington, either E-Man or Isaiah White. And T.J., terrific job and ability to create opportunities for others and got into the paint. And Isaiah White, the strong finish to clean it up.
Who else but Isaiah White, the leader all season long on this team for the Wolverines. I just couldn't believe that he was that open.
Again, everybody went to TJ at that time, and again, where I thought he wasn't going to give that ball up to anybody, dumped it off to Isaiah White at the right time and able to make the game-winning basket.
So Utah Valley in a must-need, cliche must-win game here at home, but in all reality, they needed a big boost and a morale victory here at home.
Especially before going on another road trip, right? We mentioned before that the road teams so far in WAC play have struggled a little bit, and that's why they had to get this one tonight, because, again, next week they don't get the comfort of staying home. They got to go try to pick one up on the road.
Player of the game, who do you give it to? I mean, J.J. Overton, T.J. Washington, almost 30 points combined for both of them off the bench, and they've provided both much-needed spark plugs.
I thought Overton did a great job of, finding open spots in that zone, did a good job of not forcing anything, and then down the stretch, it was really him against Varner, and he limited his catches, made Varner work for every shot he got. So though TJ did so much for these guys offensively and made the big three of the late shot clock, I think JJ with the all-around game, what he did against, arguably one of the best scorers in the WAC, and then his spark up events defensively. So I'd have to give it to JJ.
Big-time W for the Wolverines. Can't spell Wolverines without the W. 72-70. Utah Valley victorious over UTRGV here at home. For all of our hardworking staff and crew behind the scenes, for Ben Schroeder, Jason Erickson, for Holden Hunsaker, I'm Brandon Crowe saying so long and good night from Orem, Utah. Wolverines 72, Vaqueros 70.